Most people wake up each morning already behind. The clock dictates their steps, rushing to meet deadlines, juggling tasks, and scrambling to catch up with life's endless demands. Yet, when the sun sets, they wonder where the day went and why their deepest goals remain untouched. Imagine a life where each moment counts, where you don't just survive the daily grind, but intentionally shape your future with every tick of the clock. It's not about working harder, it's about working wiser, aligned with the natural flow of life's seasons. Just as nature shifts from spring's planting to summer's growth, then to autumn's harvest and winter's rest, our lives also follow a divine rhythm. But too often, we live out of sync with that rhythm. We chase opportunities meant for another season, cling to relationships that should have ended, or fear stepping out when it's time to advance. The result is frustration, burnout, and regret. The real tragedy isn't the passing of time, it's the misuse of it. What if you could break this cycle? What if you could wake up each day with clarity about what this season demands from you? Confident that your actions align with a bigger picture. Mastering your time and seasons means saying no to distractions and yes to destiny. It means letting go of yesterday's failures and tomorrow's worries to fully engage with the power of now. Time is a gift that once lost can never be reclaimed. Seasons are opportunities that once missed may not return the same way again. If you truly understood the value of each moment and the purpose of each season, you would guard them like treasure. Are you ready to stop drifting and start living on purpose? The choice is yours, and it begins today. Life is not a straight line, but a series of cycles, much like the changing of seasons in nature. Each season carries its own tasks, opportunities, and challenges. Yet many people fail to recognize what stage they are in. As a result, they exhaust themselves doing the right things at the wrong time, or hold on to habits and relationships that no longer serve their growth. The truth is, you cannot force summer's harvest in the dead of winter, nor can you cling to the blooms of spring when autumn demands pruning. The secret to a fulfilled and productive life lies in discerning the difference between when to sow, when to nurture, when to reap, and when to rest. Our modern world doesn't make this easy. We live in a culture that glorifies hustle and endless activity. People wear busyness as a badge of honor, believing that filling every hour is a sign of ambition. Yet, despite packed schedules, stress levels rise, and true progress often stalls. Many find themselves stuck in a loop, running on the treadmill of life, but never feeling truly accomplished. This disconnect stems not from a lack of effort, but from a lack of understanding time's true nature and how to harness it wisely according to the seasons of life. Learning to maximize time and seasons is not merely a productivity hack. It's a way of aligning daily choices with life's bigger purpose. It's about living intentionally rather than reacting to whatever demands attention. It's knowing when to say yes and, more importantly, when to say no. It's about recognizing that some doors are meant to be closed so better ones can open. When you respect the flow of time and the demands of each season, life becomes less chaotic and more meaningful. Your energy is preserved for what truly matters. You stop competing with others because you understand your journey is unique and your timeline is not identical to anyone else's. This awareness frees you from unnecessary pressure and comparison, giving you the peace to grow at your own pace. Time, once gone, never returns. Seasons, once missed, may delay your progress by years, but the power to steward both rests in your hands. It requires reflection, discipline, and courage to let go of what no longer fits. When you master this art, you don't just manage your days, you craft a life that echoes with purpose long after your time here has passed. Now is the moment to wake up to this truth. and embrace the responsibility to live wisely. In today's fast-paced world, people are constantly reminded that time is money. Yet so many squander this precious resource without a second thought. One of the greatest challenges we face is not a shortage of time, but a lack of understanding about how to use it wisely within the context of our personal seasons. Many people live in perpetual busyness, mistaking motion for progress. They fill calendars with meetings, errands, and tasks that seem urgent, but do not move them closer to their true goals. The result is exhaustion at the end of each day and a gnawing feeling that something important is being missed. Part of this struggle comes from failing to recognize that life unfolds in phases. There are seasons for learning, seasons for building, seasons for reaping rewards, and seasons for resting and reflection. However, when people ignore this natural order, they plant seeds at the wrong time, or try to harvest when they should be preparing the soil. For instance, a person may chase after career opportunities when they actually need to invest in personal development or mend broken relationships. Or they may cling to old habits and people long past their relevance, draining time and energy better spent on new ventures that match their current phase of life. This misalignment creates a cycle of frustration and regret. People look back on years filled with effort, yet feel they have little to show for it. They struggle to say no to things that do not serve them because they lack clarity about what their present season demands. Distractions multiply, urgent tasks crowd out important ones, and before they know it, days turn into months and months into wasted years. Technology, though meant to save time, often steals it. Endless scrolling, constant notifications, and the pressure to keep up with everyone's highlight reel create a false sense of connection and achievement. Many wake up each day reacting to the world rather than intentionally directing their own lives. They lose sight of their unique timeline and start comparing their season to others, forgetting that not everyone is meant to bloom at the same moment. The real challenge lies in breaking free from this reactive cycle. It demands self-awareness, discipline, and the courage to make tough choices. It requires one to pause and ask, where am I right now? What should I focus on in this season? What must I prune to make space for growth? Without this intentionality, life becomes a blur of busyness without fruitfulness. Recognizing the problem is the first step toward living differently, toward taking back control of time and honoring each season's unique purpose. Addressing the challenge of mismanaging time and seasons begins with a fundamental shift in perspective, moving from living reactively to living intentionally. Many people operate as though they have an unlimited supply of time, procrastinating on meaningful pursuits and investing their energy in activities that yield little return. To break this cycle, one must first acknowledge that every moment carries weight and that not all tasks deserve equal attention. Developing a keen sense of awareness about your current season is crucial. This means regularly taking a step back to evaluate where you are emotionally, mentally, financially, and spiritually. For some, this season may be about learning and equipping themselves for bigger responsibilities ahead. For others, it might be a time to reap the benefits of years of hard work, or to rest and recover from intense seasons of hustle. When you understand what this moment demands, you can align your actions accordingly, avoiding unnecessary stress and wasted effort. Practical steps can turn this awareness into consistent action. Begin by setting clear priorities that match your season. Create boundaries around your time by saying no to tasks, events, or even people who drain your energy but add little value. Learn to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important. Not everything that demands your immediate attention is worth your focus. When you focus on what truly matters, you accomplish more with less effort. Another essential aspect is creating daily routines and habits that respect your time. Allocate moments for reflection, planning, and rest. Many people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what consistent effort can achieve over months and years. Small daily actions compound over time and can produce remarkable results if aligned with the right season. Surround yourself with people who respect your time and understand your goals. The company you keep has a significant impact on how you spend your days. Choose relationships that inspire growth and accountability rather than distraction and stagnation. Also, be willing to let go of activities and commitments that no longer align with your present season, no matter how good they once were. Lastly, remain flexible and humble. Seasons change, and so should your strategies. What worked in one stage of life might become a burden in the next. Adaptation is not failure, it is wisdom. By staying sensitive to shifts in your circumstances and inner life, you position yourself to maximize every opportunity. Living this way transforms time from an enemy to an ally, ensuring that each season of your life serves its intended purpose. The true turning point comes when a person stops living on autopilot and fully realizes that time is a non-renewable currency. This revelation strikes deeply when they reflect on how much has been lost to procrastination, distractions, and pursuits that offered comfort but no real growth. It is often an uncomfortable awakening, the realization that many of the excuses once used to justify delays or half-hearted efforts no longer hold weight. The sense of urgency replaces complacency, and suddenly each hour feels precious. This is the moment when the struggle against misused time transforms into a deliberate commitment to steward it wisely. For some, this breakthrough happens after a crisis, an unexpected loss, a career setback, or the quiet but painful recognition that they have spent years climbing the wrong ladder. For others, it comes in a moment of stillness when they look inward and confront the gap between who they are and who they could be. Whatever sparks this clarity, it brings with it an unshakable resolve to stop wasting days and to start honoring every season with intentional choices. At this pivotal point, priorities become sharper. A person learns to say no without guilt because they understand every yes carries a cost. They reassess relationships and commitments, courageously releasing anything that no longer aligns with their vision. This is not a reckless cutting away, but a thoughtful pruning, like a gardener removing dead branches so healthy ones can flourish. Energy once scattered across countless distractions is now focused on what truly matters. This commitment also transforms daily habits. Mornings are no longer rushed and chaotic, but start with purpose, reflection, planning, and gratitude. The calendar shifts from being a crowded to-do list to a clear map of meaningful actions that reflect the demands of the current season. Time for rest is no longer seen as laziness, but as strategic preparation for the next push forward. Perhaps the most profound part of this moment is the freedom it brings, letting go of comparison, envy, and regret. A person learns to trust the timing of their own life. They stop measuring success by the pace of others and embrace their unique path. Seasons of waiting are no longer dreaded but accepted as necessary times of preparation and growth. Harvests are celebrated not with arrogance but with gratitude. This clarity reshapes not just days and weeks but entire destinies. It is the moment when a person claims authority over their time, respects the changing seasons of life, and steps fully into a life guided by purpose rather than pressure. From here, each decision echoes far beyond the present, crafting a legacy rooted in wisdom and intention. When a person finally understands the value of time and the significance of seasons, life begins to take on a different meaning. No longer are days wasted in aimless activity or distractions that drain energy and produce little return. Instead, each moment is viewed as an investment in a larger vision. This awareness brings a sense of peace and focus that busyness can never provide. Clarity replaces confusion, and priorities are no longer dictated by external noise, but by an inner compass that points toward what truly matters. Living wisely with time does not mean working endlessly or cramming every minute with tasks. It means knowing when to act and when to pause, when to push forward and when to retreat and recharge. It means giving yourself permission to rest without guilt, understanding that rest is as productive as action when aligned with the right season. Just like farmers do not plow the field during harvest, a person who knows their season avoids exhausting themselves doing things that do not fit their current phase of life. This shift is not achieved overnight. It requires constant self-examination and the humility to admit when you have drifted off course. It demands courage to make hard decisions, to walk away from people, habits, and commitments that no longer serve your purpose. It calls for discipline to stay focused when distractions beckon, and the patience to wait when nothing seems to be happening. Yet, the reward for this commitment is immeasurable. Life becomes more than a series of busy days. It becomes a meaningful journey, with each season preparing the way for the next. Regret over wasted time fades as you make intentional choices that honor your values and vision. Comparison loses its grip because you no longer measure your progress against others, but by how faithfully you are stewarding your own time and opportunities. Ultimately, this way of living cultivates a legacy that outlasts your days on earth. People who learn to manage time and seasons wisely impact not just their own lives, but the lives of others. They inspire family, friends, and communities to live with purpose and to treasure the moments that truly matter. So, as you move forward, remember that time is a gift, and seasons are opportunities designed to shape you for greater things. Do not waste what cannot be regained. Be present, be discerning, and be courageous enough to live each day aligned with your season. In doing so, you honor not just your time, but your very life's purpose. Now that you understand the power of mastering your time and recognizing your seasons, it's time to turn insight into action. Don't let this be just another idea that fades as quickly as it came. Decide today that you will no longer drift aimlessly, surrendering your days to distractions or the demands of others. Make a firm commitment to protect your time like the priceless treasure it is. Start small, but start now. Take out a piece of paper or open your journal and write down what season you believe you are in at this very moment. Is it a time for learning, for building, for harvesting, or for rest and renewal? Be honest with yourself. This clarity is the first step toward aligning your actions with your current reality. Next, list 3 things that no longer serve your present season. These could be habits, commitments, or even relationships that drain you and hold you back. Commit to releasing them. This may feel uncomfortable, but growth often requires pruning. Then, choose 3 priorities that deserve your best energy right now. What daily actions will move you closer to your purpose in this season? Schedule them into your calendar and guard this time fiercely. Learn to say no without apology to anything that threatens your focus. Don't stop there. Create moments of reflection at the end of each week. Ask yourself, did my actions reflect my priorities? Where did I waste time? What can I do differently next week? This habit of reviewing and adjusting will keep you aligned with your season and prevent you from slipping back into old patterns. Surround yourself with people who respect your time and encourage your growth. Share your commitment with a trusted friend or mentor who will hold you accountable. Sometimes a single honest conversation can change the trajectory of your entire season. Most importantly, remind yourself daily that your time is finite and precious. Live each day as if it matters, because it does. Do not wait for tomorrow to be intentional. Begin today. Take ownership, honor your season, and step into each day knowing that you are crafting a life of purpose, not by accident, but by deliberate choice. The future you dream of is shaped by the decisions you make in these moments. Take action now.